everyone. Thanks for joining. So as people trickle in, we have Dan Jones with MLS Now to go over some tips and tricks, lots of information in the MLS as well as the MLS app, which I'm loving. This is him sharing screen of the MLS app. And again, as people trickle in, my starting now email just went out. So we're gonna have lots of people hopping on. And then I'll let Dan, you can go ahead and get started.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Yeah, so the idea here is in about an hour, just to give you as much information as possible about programs that you have access to, better ways to use them, and things that I notice on a daily basis when I speak with agents or visit offices. Most of what I see is that the agents out there either number one, don't know the tools that they have access to, or number two, how to make the best use of them. So hopefully after today, you're going to be much further ahead than a lot of the agents that are out there. Okay. So with that kind of in mind, I'm actually going to start. I've got my phone on the screen here. And if you want to follow along and actually pull your phone up and go to the App Store and download some of these apps that I'm going to show you in real time, it would probably be best for you. So as you can see, the first three that I'm going to talk about are MLS Touch, CubiCasa, and RPR. Okay. I don't know if you guys are already using those. From the numbers that I see, when it comes to CubiCasa, maybe about a quarter of you, RPR less, and MLS Touch seems to be about 75% of our agents have it downloaded. But are you using it to its fullest capability is the question, and what we'll talk about today. So with that in mind here, let's just start. I'm going to show you. So the first one is MLS Touch. So I'm just going to my app store. I'm on an iPhone. For you Android users, I apologize. I know it's the Google Play Store, right? The icons and everything will look the same. So it's just this MLS Touch app right here in the middle. While you're here, if you want to, you can also download the MLS Client app. Okay. Very few of you out there are using and connecting your clients with this app. And this is a pretty powerful tool. So I want you to imagine that I was your client and you wanted to give me access to the MLS. You wanted me to have my own app branded to you, and I could check listings you send me. I could communicate with you. I could run my own searches. That's what MLS Client is. All right. So if you download those two, I'll show you how this works in conjunction with each other. So the first one is just MLS Touch. Go ahead and download that. And the second one is MLS Client. The MLS Touch app, this one with the 4 blue lines, this is for you, the agents. You're going to log in. When you first open it up, it's going to ask you what state you're with. You're going to choose Ohio, and you're going to choose MLS Now as your association. Okay. And then you log in with your normal credentials. The same credentials you use to log into the desktop version is what you use to log into the app. MLS Client, when you download that one, you will see that the screen takes you to this, where it's asking you for a code to get in. All right. That code that your clients that they'll get comes from you. And I'll show you how to give them that code or where to find it at. All right. But that's what you should see when you log into or when you open up the MLS Client app. All right. So let's do MLS Touch for a second here. Everybody should have it downloaded and just open that up. This picture here in the top right corner that you see, if you want to change that or you don't have one there, that's actually something that you upload from the matrix system. It's not something you can do inside of the app. Okay. So if you can envision yourself, actually, I'll just kind of pull it up and show you very quickly here. If you're inside of in the MLS system, you see the input tab here on the top of the screen, input up here. If you go in there, on the left-hand side, there's a little update roster photo. You plug your ID in here and you can edit that photo. Okay, manage photos. And then you can see this is where mine comes from. That's what is displaying in the MLS Touch app. Okay, so again, it's the input tab. You plug in your member ID here and update your roster photo. Okay, so that's the first thing when you open this up that you're noticing. The second thing is all of your search options, right? So we have our map search, we have our advanced search, and we have our search by number. Map search, pretty easy, just what it sounds like. You know, you're going to click on the map. It's going to zoom into where you are. I can pinch my fingers together and kind of zoom out, and it will populate listings on that map as I zoom in or out. I can go the other way and pull my fingers apart, you know, and it will zoom in. You can move your map around anywhere you want to go. and anywhere that you do, you'll see listings populate. You can draw. There's a little drawing tool up in the top right corner right here where I can draw a shape, whatever area I want to get, and it will then populate listings in that area. Something else that very few people know about that's a cool tool is if you zoom in far enough, you'll notice that the parcels start to populate, and you can actually click on that. And this is the Realist tax program built right into the MLS Touch app. So zoom in close, you see the boundary lines get drawn, and then anyone that you click on, it's just going to populate that tax info. You're going to see the owner's name, you're going to see all the tax records, anything that you would find in our Realist tax program, our sell score indicators, our estimated values, MLS history, etc. All that stuff is right there. They actually have a cool little button that you can add the owner right into your as a contact here. See how Ladeka is highlighted in blue? I can just click that and add them as a contact right from the app as well. Okay. So that's searching. A lot of people like the map search, but they get confused and they don't know that they can filter. So if you notice up in the top right corner of my screen here, I have a little filters button. If I click that, I can tell it what I'm looking for, right? So the map tells me where I'm looking, and then this filters button tells me what I'm looking for. My bedroom range, my price range, actually my listing status. Maybe I want to find solds in an area for comp purposes, and I can send some comps to somebody. So I would click on listing status in the middle here and come down and check some sold listings. Okay, and then just click apply up top, and then it will show me those sold listings on my map when I click search again. Okay, everybody so far so good? Any questions or anything before I keep going? I try not to jump too far ahead, but I also like to keep moving. So
Yeah. And just like Dan
so
said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to take yourself off mute and just ask questions. And then also feel free to put them in the chat, and I can always let them know when they're popping there.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, probably best if you can't. Yeah, either way, type chat. I can't see the chat, so I'm sure you'll let me know. Okay. So the next thing is after you find your listings or you set up your area, obviously I can just click on one of the properties and pull it up to scroll through photos. And I can actually schedule a showing right here. See a little showing request button? I can click showing request. It'll take me to the showing time platform where I can schedule a showing if they're allowing showings. I can text this to a client, which is very nice. There's a little share button here on the left-hand side. I just click share. Let's say send by SMS. It will show you all of your contacts in the system. And then when you click that, I'll just send this to myself and you can actually see what it looks like. And I encourage you to send this to yourself so that you can experience what it's like on the other end as a client. That way you can help them navigate a little better when they're doing things like this. So let's go to my text messages real quick. I should have one. There it is. Hello, Dan, with the link of the listing that my agent just sent me. I click on that, and this is what they see. All right. And we'll talk about the branding, like the color scheme, the bar at the top. I'll show you how to change that. But this is what they get, right? All the property details, a little mortgage estimator, and then it's branded to you. All of your contact information and your photo is at the bottom. It's just very, very nice and easy. You can send more than one listing. Let me go back to my MLS Touch app for a second. Notice how at the top I have map, list, and stats. If I was to click on the list view instead of the map view, now you can see I've got these 34 results like this. And if I wanted to send multiple listings, I would just click the little 3-dot icon on the top right, say send by SMS, and then you see the little bubbles on the left that gets created. I can check whichever listings I want to send and send those all as one text now. Same process. Pick my client, send it to that phone number. And then I can toggle back to map and go back. Whatever view you like best, whatever way you like to view the listings or send them is easy enough for you to do. Okay. The other thing that's cool is you can send supplements. So if I'm looking at a listing, I've got it pulled up and I've shared it. I've scheduled my showing. I've looked through all of the property details. There's a little red bubble if there are supplements for that listing. So I can click the bubble and actually just text a supplement right to somebody on my phone like this. And then they get that PDF texted to them instead of you having to email it or download it or print it or whatever a process you were doing before. So that's a nice touch as well. Okay. So that is all of your search options, whether you do the map search or the advanced search. Advanced search is kind of the same thing. you're just going to choose your criteria, city, address, etc. There are some cool things here that kind of get overlooked. You can actually search by just a street. You don't have to have the full address. For instance, I could type in Bald Eagle here and click search, and it's going to populate any active listings that are on that road. Okay. Again, same thing. If I wanted to do that, but find comps on that road, I would search for Bald Eagle, but I would change my filters at the bottom here. Instead of looking at active listings and listing status, I would change it to sold or under contract or whatever I wanted to grab for some comps. Okay. So now you know how to search for them, how to navigate that map, how to text listings to clients. The next big thing is connecting them to that MLS client app I was talking about before. So for that, if you look down on the bottom of your screen here, there's a little more button. There's 3 lines that say more. So if you click that, one of your options in here is to share my branded app. We see that one right here? Share my branded app. What does that do? That gives you an installation link, a code, that anybody who plugs that code in to the client app will then have access to the MLS through you. Okay. So that code is this, for me, it's 7F8FC819. All right. I want to text that to somebody. Let's say I want to text this to a client. And again, I encourage you to do this now. Text yourself and see how it operates. That's why I had you download the MLS client app, right? So let's send this to myself and see what it looks like. I'm going to click send by SMS. I'm going to text myself and let's send it. And then in real time here, let's go to my text messages. My agent Dan just sent me a link to download the MLS client app, which we've already done. So I'm just going to open it up, and then I need to plug in that code, right? And if they're not sure where to get that code, just tell them it's in their text, right? It's that 7F81. Or if they click that, they could also just copy it like this and then go back into MLS client and paste it. Connect with my agent, and voila. It will prompt them to enter their contact information, or they can just click ignore. Either way, they're going to be branded to you. And now this is what your client experiences. Notice it looks very similar to yours, right? They can do a map search. They can do an advanced search. They can click my agent, which is going to be you. It's going to be branded to you. They can look at their favorites. They can see any emails or listings that you have emailed them. So for instance, if I had my client set up on an auto email, then those listings would go to the app as well, where they could click on my agent and look under their, they call it my suggestions. It would be right above my on-market listings. It would say my suggestions, and that's listings that you have emailed to them as well. Okay. Any questions on that process? Grabbing that code from the MLS Touch app, providing it to a client, and then having them download the app and get in with the code that you sent them. Everybody okay? Good deal. Okay. Now I'll keep moving then. Let's talk about the branding for a second on this. Obviously, the last time I did this, showed a Remax office. So if you wanted your office banner up there and your color scheme, what you do is inside of MLS Touch, down at the bottom where it says more, we're going to go right back there. And this time we're going to say manage branding. And we have some default ones built in. So I can come down here and search by name. So let's grab a Keller Williams. There we go, and activate. So now that is my brand center. That's going to be the logo, and that's going to be the color scheme. There is an option for you to create your own. If I were to click that button, it would access the photos on my phone, and you can upload whatever image that you have that you want to be for your branding. That should update in real time. Let's see. There we go. See, now I have the Keller Williams logo and that color scheme. And when they click my agent, it will be branded that way. Okay. So that's about it for MLS Touch. The only other last thing I would show you is you have access to our entire 14,000 member database. So at the bottom again there, you have members. And when they click that, this is all of our members that are in the MLS. So if you needed to search for somebody, let's say I wanted to look up whoever, I'll do somebody that I work with here at the MLS. We'll look for Heidi Ewing. I just type her name in, and then voila, I can one-touch call, one-touch text, one-touch email, etc. Very easy to find somebody and reach out to them through the app on the go. Okay, so that's the members button down at the bottom. And that's really about it for the MLS Touch and for MLS Client. So before I move on to the next program, anybody have any questions about that entire ecosystem there?
I actually do have a question when it comes to setting or sending that link to your clients and you're in a sense of it like setting them up on that portal or a safe search
So when
or the
you send
difference.
them this, so when you send them this link, all you're doing is giving them access to the MLS Client app. If you remember that
Got
screen
it.
that said greetings to enter your code to get, they can't get into that app unless they have a code from an agent. That's what you're giving them access to.
Oh, okay,
Now,
I see.
now, if you have an auto email set up for somebody, so let's say I was your client and you had an auto email set up for me, and then you sent me this code and I got the app, I would see the listings that you also have been emailing me. They would be in the app as well. So that way they can
Cool.
check.
Okay.
Yeah. Which makes things nice because everybody's on their phone anyways. You know, they don't, yes, I know people have email on their phone, but the ability to have an app that I can just easily navigate and feel like I have access to the MLS, I'm still connected to you. I see everything you send me. I can message you easily. It just, the whole ecosystem is very efficient and clean looking, and it just makes things very easy on both
Yeah.
ends. So, yeah.
Okay,
Um,
awesome. So all of your portal or auto emails, sorry, that's what I mean by, so all of the auto emails are automatically going to transfer to your app.
yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yep. And so when your client opens that up, they'll click on my agent and there'll be a little, it'll say my suggestions right here. I should have pulled somebody up who I have one running for. It would say my suggestions, they hit it, and then all those listings are going to be there. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, whether they heart or discard or whatnot. Okay.
Correct. And they'll still have the ability to do that, right? When they are looking
hmm
at those listings, they can favorite them or discard them. Exactly. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Any other MLS Touch, MLS Client questions? Okay. We'll keep it moving then. So the next thing that I want to talk about is actually RPR. This is another one that gets widely underused and is pretty powerful tool and very easy to use and create reports and get data and share with clients and all of that. So it's this one right here, RPR. Let me go to the App Store and just show you. Realtor Professional Resource is what the RPR stands for. So if I go to my App Store, I'm going to search for RPR. And this is what it looks like right here, RPR Mobile. Okay. So you'll download that. Now, for those of you that have never used this before, which I know is most of the people when I show this, you will need to create an account. There'll be a button for it, and it will ask you to enter your ID or your email address and your name. It's very simple. And then they send you an email with an activation link. So you click that link and then you're in RPR. You can also do this for the desktop version, right? So if I pull up Matrix for 1 second here and just show you, if I'm on my dashboard right here, you're going to see that RPR, if I can get my phone out of the way, RPR is on your dashboard right here. And you can do the same thing. If you need to set your account up through this, and you want to do it this way, that's great. Let me log out real quick and show you what it looks like. Sign out. And you can see there's a little create a new account button right here. And if I click that, it's asking for my last name and my email address. That's all it needs. And then it will email you a code or a link. You click that link, and then you're good to go with RPR. All right. And I'm just kind of buying some time right now for people that are downloading the app and creating their accounts if they want to get in there and do this in real time so that I'm not leaving them too far behind. But let's go in there and show you what this looks like now. Okay, so RPR. Why do I like RPR? Number one, it's just very easy to get any information that I really want about a property. RPR is a NAR, National Backed Database. It has over 200 different data sources that it uses for data. U.S. Census Bureau, obviously all the auditor sites, things like that. So let's just say I wanted to look up a property. Let's say I'm your seller and you wanted to look up my address and you wanted to get some comps, get an estimated value, and then send that to me very quickly, right? A practical use case for this. So you could type in an address, and I'll just use one that we use at work here. You can use any address you want. You could use your own if you wanted to see what it looks like. So I'm just going to type in 600 Crestview Drive. It's going to pull it up. I'm going to see the estimated value. That's what RVM is. Similar to the Realist one, if you've ever used that, the AVM. And then I can scroll and see all of the property details, all of the tax records, et cetera, et cetera. That stuff is pretty standard, you know, the estimated rental value. But what's really cool is when you want to run a comp report and send it to somebody, this is where this becomes a pretty powerful tool. So if I were to click on reports down at the bottom, and I wanted to create a report, see the little create report button? I'm gonna say, I wanna do a seller's report, right? And we're gonna do it for 600 Crestview, because I had that pulled up. I can check and uncheck whatever pages that I want or don't want. We'll include all of them this time, and I'll kind of quickly show you them, and then you can decide what you wanna keep and get rid of. But this is gonna be about an 80-page report when it's done. So I click next, and then run my report. That's it, I'm done. I typed in the address, I told it to run me a comp report, and that was all I had to do. And now when I go look at my reports, it looks like this. I can view it on the phone. It's gonna have a picture and then just tons and tons of information, all the home facts, AARP livability index, market conditions, historical photos, property history over time. Of course, all of the comps that it found for me. Just data galore, and all going to be branded to you, right? I've got my little MLS Now. It's probably going to be your company logo or whatever you upload. And if I wanted to share this with a client, I just click from my reports button, I just click the share button, and I can just text it to whoever I want to text it to on my phone. Done. So if I was a seller and I contacted you and I said, hey, here's my address, we're looking to sell or get an estimated value of my home, you could send me a report within 2 minutes. And that's where RPR really becomes pretty powerful. They also have other reports in here. So if I click create report again, you can see we have a number of reports. I get asked all the time about like little one-page property flyers. That one is right there. You see the property flyer. So that one will create a report that looks kind of like this. I don't have any, if I had any remarks typed up about this house, I would add them and they would display right here. So this would be like all the description about the house, but that's a little one-page property flyer, right? There are neighborhood reports. So you type in a neighborhood and it will give you a neighborhood report showing you income demographics and schools and all of that stuff. Let me see if I have one here quickly. Let's do reports. We'll just create one. Why not? Let's do a neighborhood report, right? That's all the information you get. Housing stats and charts, people stats, economic, quality of life. And let's just run that real quick. As you can see, when you do these reports, it takes you a second. It takes the system a second to actually create it. And then it will show up for you. Did it do that one for me? Neighborhood report, next, run. Oh, it's generating. Okay. And then it does take a second to finalize, and then you can see what all is in that report. So again, with RPR, and you can do all of this stuff as well on the desktop version, right? And this is what the neighborhood report looks like, right? So we did one for Bay Village. I'm getting all the, I know it's probably hard to see, but I'm getting all the housing stats, the neighborhood report showing me the median list and listing volume, price range of comps, size of homes, average range, population, like all that stuff we talked about, education levels. This is obviously good for buyers, right? Buyers are looking at certain areas. You want to type in the area that they're looking and get a neighborhood report to share with them, right? Okay, so that is RPR. That's the app. And the desktop version really works almost the exact same. You type the address in. It just obviously is in desktop mode instead of app on your phone. Any questions on RPR there? Anybody? No? I don't know, I guess I can just ask the question. Have you all been using this? Is this something that you're familiar with already? Is this something that you're have not used at all or looked at? Like what's the, what's the feedback on that? Would you happen to know? I see some chat in there, but I can't click.
Yeah.
Let me go to,
Right, yeah. So it says, I'm gonna send her a picture, but what does the app look like again? She had to step
oh,
away, sorry. And then a
yeah, it's
lot
okay.
of other, oh, perfect, yeah. Thank you for showing what the app looks like. So the
Yep,
RPR app.
yep, this one right here, RPR mobile. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Kind of looks similar to the one he was saying on your desktop as well.
Yeah.
And then a few other agents are saying that they use the desktop version a little bit.
Okay.
And I did do a video, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, about RPR and just like how to get to
Oh,
it.
nice.
And
Okay.
yeah, I didn't really go dive too deep. So like love that you can just do it right on your phone, that seller's report.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
and it's one of those things that the more that you use it and play with it, the better you'll get at it. I know
mhm,
some people have used it like once and then they get overwhelmed with it or forget about it for a second. So yeah, just
yeah,
the more they can use it, the better. So
yeah. And then I was showing them how to update their profile on it too, so that when they
yep.
do those seller's reports, that like their pictures will show all their information and things.
Oh, perfect. You're ahead of the game. That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one I'll talk about is CubiCasa. Are you guys? Let me
Okay.
just ask first. I'll ask you while you're talking here. Do you guys use CubiCasa? Is that something you guys are playing around with
I've
at
never heard
all?
of it.
Okay,
Personally, I've
great.
never heard of it.
Okay, so
A few other
CubiCasa. If
agents
you want
have
to, okay, if you want
for
to
the
download
chat.
CubiCasa, it's CubiCasa. This one right here, and it looks like this. It's got the green background and kind of these three arrows, if you will. Okay. So CubiCasa, and I'll talk about what it is for a second. If anybody wants to open it up, download the app, open it up. And again, just like RPR and MLS Touch, create your account, type in your email. It's going to email you a link to activate it. It's very simple. Make sure that once you download the app and you get in, go to your settings. It should prompt you in the sign up process, but make sure that you type in MLS Now when it asks you what MLS you're with. That way you get our discounts and the free version included in your membership. Okay, so again, you'll go to CubiCasa, uh, you'll open it up. It will ask you for your email to sign up. You'll click the little green sign up button. It's going to email you an activation link, and then you'll get in. And then tie the MLS to it when it asks you what MLS you're with. You're going to choose MLS Now. Okay, so while you guys are all doing that, CubiCasa is a company that we partnered with about a year ago. And the idea was to generate very nice floor plans for you to upload as a photo with your listings. If you've ever seen consumer surveys on Zillow or any of those sites that ask what clients want to see in a listing, they want to see photos, number one. They want to see the property details, and then they want to see a floor plan. Something like 2/3 of people, floor plan was ranked very high for them. Well, there's a disconnect between what people are looking for and what you all are providing when you upload listings. Because before we launched CubiCasa, like 10% of listings in our database had a floor plan uploaded. Okay, so there was a big disconnect there. We're starting to bridge that gap, and CubiCasa is a big part of that. So, what CubiCasa is and looks like when you open it up is an app that will do a floor plan of a home, your home, a seller's home, whatever you're trying to do. So it's very easy. All you do is click this little scan button right here at the bottom. It's going to ask you to select your property type. So I'm going to choose single house and continue. It is going to pin the location where you are if your location services are on. If that's not the correct address, you can just click the little pencil icon and change the address. All right, but I'm going to leave mine here and then click confirm. It's going to give you a couple slides telling you the best practices. Make sure all the lights are on and the windows uh, and open and all the window coverings, open all the doors, things like that. Couple little quick tips. Where to point the phone when you're scanning, and then you literally just click the record button at the bottom, and then it's going to scan. You just walk around the house and it will scan wherever you are, and then when you're done, you click the finish scan button. and you click continue to order, and that goes to CubiCasa, and they send you back a 2D floor plan within 48 hours. Okay. You have up to 5,000 square feet that you can scan, and that's all going to be free for you, or included in your membership, I should say. And so kind of what it looks like is, let's see if I have one quick. So it's just this, right? A little 2D floor plan. You can either choose to show the dimensions or turn dimensions off. You're going to get this in your email as well. And then it's a JPEG image you can upload to your listing. Okay. So you literally just hit that scan button, walk around your house or the seller's house, and then send that scan off to CubiCasa. Could not be easier to get your floor plans done. They do have other options. If I go to my pricing packages here, I've got the light is the free version for you, right? It shows you what you get with that. Oh, it's actually a 24-hour turnaround, not 48. And then you can do the a plus, which, as you can see, adds a little color. Then you've got the 3D, which is this one over to the right. See how it shows the furniture? It's like a 3D floor plan. That one's $65. And then the 3D video rendering, which is this one, is $85. So a 3D video rendering is kind of, think of like a virtual tour, right? It's just that, but they don't actually click through. It's just a video rendering of the property. Okay. So that's how you sign up. That's what you get access to. That's how it works. And your scans are going to be in the app and also emailed to you. Okay. Any questions on the CubiCasa there? Oh, I can see the chat. Perfect. We'll go over there for a second. This is a quiet group. Are they always this quiet, or is it me?
No, it's kind of just quiet.
It's just
We got a
Monday.
little bit of chat action.
Just a case of the Mondays.
Just in case the Mondays.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, let's see. What do I got here? Okay. Anybody? The 3D rendering, you're just taking a video of the home. Yeah, the 3D video rendering, what it will do is make it look better. So for instance, I wish I had the video of it. Like when I did my house, you know, I have clothes on the floor. I've got personal pictures on the wall, right? Things like that. What CubiCasa does is cleans that up. So it will make it look super clean and remove any of the like personal items and just give you a nice clean rendering of it. So it looks a little sharper, a little better than just a normal video. So that would be kind of the benefit of it.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So we talked about MLS Touch. We talked about RPR. We talked about CubiCasa. That's pretty much it for apps on the phone. So if no other questions here, I'm going to shut my phone down and then go into Matrix and talk about a few other things here just on the desktop, normal desktop version. The first one that I like to point out is Rate Plug. I just want to make sure that you guys know how to connect lenders. I know every office has their own process for this. Some make it mandatory, some use other things, but Rate Plug is a way to connect lenders to you so that when you are sharing all these listings with buyers and they're clicking on buttons like getting pre-approved or getting a breakdown of monthly costs, they're going to see your lender's information and be taken to their website so that they don't kind of go out of network. So that's what that's about. Very easy, again, to sign up. As you can see, all it wants you to do is add your MLS ID. So let's go to the home page for a second, and we'll just click sign up so I can show you. I'm an agent. I'm with MLS Now in Ohio and West Virginia, and that's it. Type in your ID and submit. It will send you an email link to activate, right? And then once you're in there, there's just a button that says to invite loan officers. You're going to type in all of your loan officer information, and Rate Plug kind of takes over from there to confirm that relationship. And like I said, then as you can see, I've got Jeff Springer, who actually works for Rate Plug, as my loan officer. But if I needed to add somebody else, I can invite an additional loan officer. And then when my clients are getting listings from me and they click like get pre-approved, it's going to go to Jeff Springer's website and all of that. Okay, so that's how Rate Plug works. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is actually inside of the MLS, and I know the title of this was best practices, and it's funny because I did a PowerPoint actually for a KW and Mentor where I was showing them how many listings their office is missing altogether. So I went through their auto emails and I was looking at their criteria. So these screenshots that you're going to see that I'm about to go through are actual screenshots from the agent's auto emails that they had set up. And I'm going to show you all the ways that they miss listings. By the time I got through a lot of their clients or their agents, I'm sorry, and all the emails they had set up, they were missing thousands of listings because their criteria was, I don't want to say set up incorrectly, they just weren't getting as many listings as they were looking for. Okay. And so the first one that I show is just, we love round numbers, and you guys set up auto emails and you use round numbers. Your client uses round numbers. They tell you I got approved for 400,000. So your search is 400,000 and below, or they tell you they're looking for something between 3 and 350 and you type in 3 to 350. So this auto email was for 700,000 to 2 million. And in their criteria, there were listings. They missed 9 listings that were $699,000, and 2 or 3 of them, 2 were $699,900 and 1 was $699,800. So I've seen instances where it's $1 off, right? It was $699,999. So that's a potential listing that might have been perfect for your client that you didn't send them because we had the love of the round numbers and we plugged that into our criteria. Okay, so just something to think about. I see that one all the time. Same for, I use that example of 400,000 and below. This auto email, the criteria for Lake and Geauga County was for 300,000 and below. That's probably what they got approved for. So that's what they did for their search. And this, sure enough, they were missing a listing that was, whoops, where'd it go? This one was 300,000 and 322, right? So just give yourself a little range on either end. If the client says they got approved for 300,000, maybe go to 302, 303, whatever you're comfortable with, but don't miss a listing that's literally $1 off, right? Same exact idea for square footage, right? Clients tell you what, I need something with at least 1,800 square feet. Again, this was a real auto email that was set up in that office. They were looking in Cuyahoga and Lake County, 2+ baths, needed to be at least 1,800 square feet. And once you adjust that, this particular agent was missing 9 listings, and look at the first 4. It was literally $1,799, right? If I'm your client and I tell you I need 1,800 square feet and you don't send me these 9 listings, I'd be a little bit like, hey, that one could have been perfect for me, but we missed it because of the square footage thing. Okay. I see that all the time as well. And as you can see, it's not just missing 1 listing or 2 listings. It has a potential to miss a lot, especially as you stack these search issues on top of each other. You use round numbers for price, you use round numbers for square footage, and you can start to see how you can eliminate listings pretty quickly. For this example, I just went down to 1,750, and that's how I found those extra 9. There is also a column, if you look back at square footage, see the little box that says include 0 square feet. If you don't check that, then you won't find listings that the listing agent has left square footage blank, which in our system is about 10% of the listings out there. Not all agents answer square footage. They don't enter it. I know you guys want them to. I know we get the request to make it mandatory all the time. The board has not decided to do that yet. And so we have listings in our system where there isn't square footage. However, you can check that box to include 0 square feet, and then you're going to get listings where they left it blank. As you can see on this screen, see the square footage field? It's blank, but I can add a column. I can click in the little gray space right there. I get a little drop-down menu that says insert column, and I can add the realist square footage column. And you can see I caught some listings that were over 1,800 square feet, but the listing agent didn't enter that. They left it blank, but our tax records caught it. Okay. So that's another one. So we've got our round numbers and price. We've got accounting for the fact that listing agents don't answer all of the fields, and we need a way to catch for some of those. And then we also have making sure that we know how to use the map and understand when we're looking for cities or townships or neighborhoods and how that works. So this particular agent they only typed in for their city, they typed in Perry and North Perry. North Perry 0. It's not a city that is going to be entered for a listing. So what you want to do is go to the map, click the little layer tool, and overlay North Perry and choose it from the map like that. And now we caught a couple listings. Okay, let me show you what that looks like in real time, just because I know not everybody knows how to do that. So if I were to run a search, okay, and let's just click on the map tab. And you see this little 3-layer icon up top here? This will overlay boundary layers on the map for me, okay? So let's say I wanted to see city boundary layers, right? I'm gonna get these green boundary lines drawn on the map. And then if I wanted to select that city or that township or that neighborhood, I click the little hand icon and I click inside of whatever city it is I'm looking for, okay? Why would we do this? Why is this so important? Because listing agents put things in as Cleveland all the time when it's actually another city, right? So for example, let's just show you real quick. Let's say I want to grab some listings from Parma, right? That one comes to mind quick. If I were to just choose Parma from this city tab, I get 498 matches. Okay, remember that number, 498. Now, let's take Parma out, go to the map. I have my city boundary layers already drawn. I'm going to click on Parma from the map, and I get 538 listings. Okay, I just got 40 additional listings when I did it from the map than I did from the criteria tab. Why? Because 40 of those agents, maybe they pulled from Realist, who knows, maybe they typed it in, but 40 of those agents called the city Cleveland, not Parma. Okay, so using the map is going to give you more accurate results because you're going by the physical location of the property and not by what the listing agent called it. Maybe they entered it as the wrong township, like that North Perry example, or they entered it as Cleveland when it should have been Parma or Mayfield Heights or whatever. Anything like that, you're going to catch those mistakes. You can also overlay a neighborhood boundary lay. So if I click my 3-layer tool and I go to neighborhood, you know, you can overlay Ohio City, Tremont, Little Italy, Shaker Square, you know, whatever, and choose that neighborhood from the map. Okay. In fact, going back to my PowerPoint that I did there, that's the next example. This agent, this was their circle. They called their search Tremont, and they just did a little radius around. But you can see that's not the actual neighborhood lines for Tremont. They were missing a bunch, and they didn't know that you could turn on that neighborhood boundary layer and click inside and actually get the neighborhood boundary lines for Tremont. They don't have to make up your own shape for that. Okay. And then the last one I'll talk about is there's a lot of confusion on searching for condos or cluster homes. Okay. So this search, what a lot of people do is they put for architectural style, they will choose cluster home. And that's a poor way to do that because not all of the listing agents are choosing cluster home as their style. For instance, here's a bunch of condos, and see the architectural style, right? What you want to do is go down to more at the bottom. So let me show you what that looks like in real time, actually. So when you're running a search, okay, and you're on your criteria tab, if I scroll down, there's a little additional fields button right here below results that I can add fields. And what I want to add is clusters, okay? And the reason that you want to do it this way is because now what you're doing is you're telling the system it can be a single family home where the style is either a cluster home or a townhouse, or it can be a condo. So now you're getting it no matter how they entered it. If you only do it where you say it has to be a cluster home as the style up here, you're missing all of those listings where they didn't choose that the style was a cluster home, but it was a condo. Okay, so you want to go down here and add that field clusters and set it up like this. Now you can combine a single family search with that style and condos all at once. Okay. Any questions on any of those search tips or anything else you want to talk about search-wise? I know I just gave you a lot there as well, but hopefully that's helpful, give you some food for thought to think about, and help you potentially not miss some listings down the road. Anybody? Okay,
This was very helpful.
then good. I'm glad. Okay, moving right along then. The last couple things I just want to show you are some new things that we have added. So about 2 weeks ago, if you hover over your top tab there, you're going to see a Intra Matrix button. See this one here for me? It might be under More. So More and then Intra Matrix. We added Bright MLS, which is one of the largest MLSs in the country. It covers 6 states in the Mid-Atlantic region: New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland. So you can actually just click on Bright and it will launch you into that database. So if you ever have the need to work with somebody who's out of states and they're looking for information or to run comps, whatever the case may be, you can just click on that Bright MLS from your Intra Matrix drop-down menu and go into that database. If you've never seen, we've had Norris and Dayton there for a while. So this is the Dayton MLS. This is the Norris, which is Toledo MLS, and it will launch into those databases. So there's the Toledo one, and there's Bright MLS that you have access to now. We have a new CEO, Gary, who is very technologically driven to give you guys as many of the best tools as possible. Part of that is also getting you as much data and sharing data with other MLSs. So I can imagine in a time very soon, you'll have access to the Columbus MLS, some data sharing there, maybe Firelands down the road, who knows? But those you have access to now. Okay, so again, that was under Intra Matrix right there. We have something coming that's very cool. It was supposed to come April 8th, but I can't demo it because it got delayed. But it's this Real Reports. They market it as the Carfax for homes. I've seen some screenshots in the demos. It looks very cool. It's a way for you to run reports, kind of like RPR, but it adds a layer of AI into it. And you can do all kinds of things that I haven't seen and been able to click around and do yet, but I know it's coming, I think, next week. So keep an eye out for that. And then we have also added back on the dashboard, there's this little Access Help Desk button. That's actually a chat bot now. So if you click on that, it will take you to a screen, and in the bottom right, you're going to see a little chat bot. So if you ever have a question, maybe you need a form sent to you or a link, or you want to see how to do something as a tip sheet, or just have the chatbot answer a question, you can go in there and type in whatever you want, and hopefully it gives you what you're looking for. We built that about 2 months ago, and it's an ongoing process. So the longer it's around and the more questions you ask it, the better it will get. But that's also something new, this chatbot right here. Eventually, we'll move this and actually call it chatbot, but it's still very new. So we're just kind of baby stepping it. But I wanted to show you that it is there for you. Okay. Yeah, that's all that I had on the agenda to show you for now. Oh, I lied. I got to show you one more thing. And this is actually very cool. This is new as well. Your client and you, but One Home is your client portal, and your client now has the ability to upload a photo to search by. Okay, so if you go into One Home and you click on New Search up here in the top right, see this little camera icon up here? What I can do is I can click that camera icon and upload a photo. So let's click the camera icon. I can upload an image. Let's see, do I have one? Let's find a good one here. Here we go. So I've got, let's say that this is what the client's looking for, right? They want this beautiful home with the pool. They want this kind of setup, whatever. This could be a bedroom. This could be a basement. This could be whatever. So you upload that image and click apply, and then it's going to search by that image. It's now no longer going by criteria that you've plugged in. It's going by an image that you have. So giving your clients this tool is a big step up for you. I mean, this is brand new. hopefully coming to the MLS soon. But market that. If you're working with the buyers, or you're putting out agent portfolio presentations. Hey, I have the ability to search by an image instead of you just telling me what you want. Like that's very cool. You can upload up to 3 images, and it's going to search for all 3 of those at once. You can still tell it what you're looking for, like how many bedrooms and bathrooms and all that stuff, and in what area. But the main priority is going to be the image itself. And you can see, I mean, some of them are very close. Some of them are kind of, it's an AI program that is learning as well. Okay. So that's what we have for your AI image search. Any questions on that one? Sorry, you're hearing my dog whining in the background. Somebody rang the doorbell.
Oh, he's been so good throughout.
Yeah, he usually is. He's doing good right now,
Yeah.
actually. He didn't bark, so
All right.
sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're totally fine. Love the pups. So actually someone did ask in the chat, can the client use an image they find on the MLS?
Yes, they can use any image they want. So as you saw, when I clicked the little camera icon, it just wants me to upload an image. That can be any image. I just have it. I'm literally accessing the files on my computer. So anything I've saved in my computer, I can click and upload. I've got this one. Sure, why not? I can search for this. Right now, my hits are going to be all over the place. But yes, to answer your question,
Right.
any image that you save, yes, you can search by.
Yeah. Wow, this is really, that's a really cool feature.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's awesome.
That is. And so when you do search that, is it mostly based on the map, just going to give you within that area?
It is, yes. Or I can type in a city, right? I could do like, I don't know, Menor here. And then it's only going to find listings that are with that image match, but in Menor, right? And
Oh, I see.
right. Yep.
Got it. Okay. So the camera went away because you're already in image match.
Yeah.
And then
It's got
you're
my,
looking within Menor.
that's right. You got it. If I were to update that, yeah. So search. And then same with my boundaries. Like I could draw boundary layers, or I could update my, what type of home or the number of bedrooms, all of that. But the first thing it's going to look for is that image match. And then does it fit whatever else you've given it as well?
Also the criteria. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Any other questions about any? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, well, this is so helpful, and I was gonna do the same thing, see if I told everybody to bring their questions.
I'm happy to show anybody anything that they want to see. Don't be shy. Anything you want to talk about, I'm here for you. If I can help, I'm happy to do so.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
Feel free if anybody has any questions or something they're trying to navigate or having trouble getting to the finished product on something within the MLS. Take yourself off mute or ask any questions in the chat.
Well, I will end with this then, if there's no questions. My phone number is the same number here, this 216-485. My direct extension, though, is 4112. Okay, so 216-485-4112 is my direct number. I'll type that into the chat too as well. And if you ever have a question or you want me to show you something or walk through something with you, I'm more than happy to do so at any time. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Yep, I'm going to type it in the chat right now. But yep, 4112.
Perfect. I was just typing it in for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, well, thank you so much, Dan. And then do you prefer that we just call you directly or rather email if there is any
Either one.
questions?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Either one is fine. If you don't get me, then you can always email me. But I'm pretty good about, I usually don't go more than a day on messages. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much again, Dan. And then, like you said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Everyone's saying thank you in the chat. But
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a solid hour with lots of fun material. Thank you.
Yeah, if you ever want to do it again, let me know. Maybe in a couple
Yeah,
months we'll go over some stuff. That real reports will be out, and maybe we can
cool.
cover something in more depth or talk about different topics altogether. So just let me
Yeah,
know.
definitely would love that.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank
well,
you
thanks
all.
again.
Yeah.
And thanks everyone
Have
for
a good one.
joining. Thanks. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.